Hello, Infinite Creators. In this video, we're going to talk to the higher self about how architecture can raise consciousness. Welcome back, and if you're new here, I'm Ariana, and I'm a hypnotherapist and past life regressionist, and I help you dive deep into the powers of your mind to expand your consciousness and achieve self-prosperity. Now, in this video, we will speak to Anne's higher self about architecture and consciousness. Also, we'll find out some interesting information about the pyramids and the ancient city of Teotihuacan. And if you missed the last video on electromagnetics and the human body, I will link that in the description below. I definitely recommend watching it because it does tie into this video. So now let's see what the higher self has to say about architecture.
And how can architecture raise consciousness?
So architecture stores memory, especially architecture built of stone or using crystals. And you can think of these buildings as like a computer where it stores memory, and it's like a hard drive. So each structure contains memory of the people who have been inside of it. This is why there's things like haunted houses, and different materials store energy different and store different types of energy. So wood would store a different type of energy than stone or crystal or concrete, because they're different vibrational match and they vibrate at different levels. But using those materials, knowing that buildings store memory and store energy, they can be like a charging station. So having buildings with different functions and different purposes to retain those memories can be useful, because people can feel that and tap into that when they're inside of the structure. And then you can use geometry to create these different frequencies and resonances, because geometry is also the same as music. So each angle and each form has a different sound to it or frequency to it. So it's all sort of the same as composing music, and we know that music can affect consciousness and raise our lower consciousness. So architecture is the same. And when you think of how a box would be different than a pyramid or a sphere, and you experience it, the harmonics of each of those shapes, you can understand how putting those together and composing those adjacencies can create a harmonic which can transport you to different states of awareness.
And is that why the pyramids in Egypt, or maybe all pyramids that are made of stone, have held together for so long, and people kind of gravitate or vibrate towards them?
Yes, so the pyramids were used as a computer or energy store or power generator. So the stone type and chemistry of the stones themselves were selected in order to serve a particular purpose. And it's a combination of how they were used historically, that they were used to channel higher consciousness and also used to channel electromagnetic frequency, so that they are acting as computers. And part of why they have lasted is because of that energy that they retain.
Would you compare the pyramids to like a power plant? Would that be accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and there are some pyramids in a city called Teotihuacan that I'm interested in knowing about. It's the placement of these pyramids are very similar to a motherboard. Can you tell me about why that's important?
So the motherboard is all about channels of energy, and a computer chip uses crystals to conduct electricity. So it's similar to this place where they use geomancy of the earth also, so they're located to different energy centers of the earth to conduct electricity. But it feels like that in this place in particular, that what was intended as an energy power plant was co-opted by another purpose, so that it's currently being used for other purposes which are not for the best interest of humanity.
And are you able to disclose at the moment what purpose it's being used for that's not best for humanity?
It's a way to control consciousness and create a frequency across the globe in order to retain that control, it looks like.
Okay. And is this happening currently?
I believe so, yes.
And is this something that will change or can change in the future with a more positive frequency?
Yes, so it's like how energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only transformed.
Mm-hmm.
This could be shifted instantaneously. And any structures or any system or infrastructure that is used for bad could instantly be transformed to be used for good. And it will shift at some point.
And is there anything that us as humans that are very conscious and aware and want to bring more positive light to the earth, is there anything that we can do to help shift it?
So the people who are conscious on Earth are an energy grid in themselves. So they're all located specifically like the pyramids you describe at certain points and certain locations with certain frequency to create this grid. And this energy grid is currently in competition with the alternate energy grid, which is why everyone is so exhausted who is on this grid. But at some point, theirs will overtake the other. And as soon as that tipping point happens, it will be almost instantaneous of feeling that shift and of that shift occurring. And so the most important thing is to strengthen each point on the energy grid, meaning each person who's connected to it, to absorb more light and to anchor more light down. But we don't need to worry about the other grid necessarily, because that has its time, that certain people or certain entities know the timing of when all of this will unfold.
And lately, I've been experiencing, I'm not sure if Anne has, but like our connection, like with internet or devices, have been off. Does that have to do with what's going on right now with the human energy grid and the alternate?
Yes, and it has to do with it's like surges causing glitchiness. So there's periods of stillness and periods of rest, and then certain flashes occurring, and that can cause, it's like a clog in the energy matrix. So imagine if you have a sink and you have a sink with a drain at the bottom, and then you pour like 10 gallons into the sink all of a sudden, and not everything is going to be able to go through the pipes at once. So it creates an influx that is over capacity, and this can cause all sorts of energetic disruption.
Okay, makes sense. And now, you spoke about everyone feeling tired, and would like to know why she's been feeling so tired and unmotivated recently.
Well, she feels like she's not doing much, but everybody who is anchoring this grid is working on other planes of existence and other dimensions of consciousness very hard. And so the body needs to rest, and the more that the body can rest, the more work we can do. A lot of people are doing work in their dream life, even if they're not conscious during the day, a lot is being done that is outside of awareness. So it's natural for the body and the human to feel fatigued and feel tired, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
Now, I found the part about Teotihuacan to be very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and would like a private session, check out my website below in the description. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, Infinite Creators, wishing you all abundance, love, and prosperity.